I'm back again. It's the God MarcoJah. I want to say peace to all my gods and goddesses and all righteous families of the earth. And this monologue tape is called The Disrespectful Truth. And I took a day off because I was a little busy. By the time I got home, I was just tired out of my mind. I'm gonna drop 2 tapes tonight, so it's gonna be a long night for me, but at least I'm settled in. It has been raining all day, but I'm gonna give y'all this exclusive from MarcoJah. I'm gonna post it on all 3 of my platforms, both on my 2 YouTubes I have, and as well on my Rumble. But this monologue tape, man, is called The Disrespectful Truth. This subject and this tape is something that I might have to take my time a little bit on because there's so much that I can speak on about this subject. I'm not going to try to make it so long. I've been trying to shorten up my videos because I know not everybody has all the time in the world. But when I do speak on an important topic, I really give my all into it and try to expound on it. But yeah, like I said, man, this monologue tape is called The Disrespectful Truth. And it's so much that I can go into. This should really be an hour-long lecture, but I'm going to shorten it as much as I can. This might be a 30-minute tape, but I'm going to go in right now. But mainly this tape is about how the older generation talks and views and judge the younger generation. And then as well, it's about how the younger generation treat each other. And this is geared more to the black community. That's who mainly I'm speaking about, but it can happen in all different types of different races and creeds and cultures as well. But my channel is black first, and then as well second, everybody is included. That's why on all my tapes I say peace to all my gods and goddesses and all righteous families of the earth. So but the reason why I call this tape The Disrespectful Truth, and it's just me being in a black community, I notice with us black people, we have a lack of respecting each other. We have a lack of loving each other. And we have a lack of loyalty and unity towards each other. And it starts from the home, then it trickles down to the schools that we go to, and then it trickles down as well the work environment. Once we become adults, it trickles down to that. And the way we talk to each other a lot of times is not right. Now, the reason why I call this tape The Disrespectful Truth is I'm going to sum it up. I like to sum up things simple. I don't like to be too intricate and too complex. Is that what I want to say and is that you could tell somebody the truth about themselves and they might need to hear it. But just because you're telling somebody the truth, you could still be disrespectful. You could still be judgmental and disrespectful. And that's what I see a lot in the black community. I mean, that's frankly what I see, and maybe that's one of it's a love and hate thing I like about the black community, is that black people are very upfront with you, but I've in my life, a lot of my elders have let me down. A lot of elders have judged me the wrong way. They told me the truth, but were very disrespectful and condescending. And that's one thing that I get tired of in the black community is that one of my elders tell me something about myself, and it might be right, but I tell them, hey, listen, y'all don't talk to me like that. Or the way you going about it and the way you talking to me, don't talk to me like that. And then what they'll respond and say back to me is, well, that's how I am, and I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. But sometimes telling somebody the truth isn't enough. Stating the obvious and pointing out and over criticizing and nitpicking a person apart isn't always enough. If a person isn't doing right in their life, or as well as a lot of these red pill content creators who get on men who don't get a lot of women and shame them, and you just point out, you don't get no women, you don't got no style, you don't got no swag, no game about yourself, you're this and you're that and you're this and you're that. It doesn't help. And as a 5%er, I was taught to, yes, you criticize, you give the brutal truth about somebody, but what we say to 5% is to destroy and build. So I might destroy your mindset and what you're thinking and expose you the truth of you and tell you what's wrong with you. But as well, I'm going to give you not just criticism and shame and judgment. I'm going to give you constructive criticism. And I'm going to give you criticism to build you up, tell you what you're doing right, what's good about you, and what's bad about you, and what you need to work on yourself. Us black people, we are raised in verbally abusive environments. And like what I said earlier, is just like, man, I just feel like, man, black people don't even respect each other. Like sometimes, man, when I go into these fast food restaurants, which I have been lately, have not been indulging in fast food because now these days fast food is so high and you might as well go to a upscale restaurant now. If you want a burger, you might as well just go to a real restaurant and pay $14, $13 for a burger. But that's a whole nother conversation. But when I go, and very few times I go to these fast food restaurants, black people, a lot of these fast food restaurants where it's majority black people, they're very rude to you. Or they just lack customer service skills, which that's something that I'm very highly experienced in because, I've been in customer service for a while, maybe not in restaurants, but, in a corporate setting, so you go to these fast food restaurants and, go and they just like, what you want? Okay. 963. Take your card or your cash and then just walk off. Don't ask you, hey, if you need anything or nothing. Just give you just attitude. But I'm now in my 30s and I consider myself now a person that that has a responsibility in guiding young black males in their 20s, their teenage years, and as well in their formative years now. But I would say, man, that a lot of people, a lot of black people, the generations that were born in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s have failed our black youth. And if you want to include me in there, you can. Because I'm in my 30s. I was maybe born in the 90s, but we have failed the black youth. And there's so much black kids that are raised by mothers and fathers who tell them they ain't never gonna be shit, tell them that you're just like your daddy, tell them you ain't good for nothing. A lot of us black males, we are being raised in single mother households. We don't have an example of what a productive, law-abiding black man is supposed to be. All we have is the wrong examples. And then when we get older into our 20s and make mistakes, we get crucified. Or sometimes we get in our 30s and all but the older generation does in the black community is point the finger, say we lazy, say we're ignorant, say we're this and we're that, but don't pull us to the side and say, hey, this is how you save your money. This is how you manage your money. This is how you treat women. This is how you talk to women. This is how you're supposed to work. It just, the older, that's how I feel. older blacks, the older people in the generation of black community just judge us. Where, yes, but yes, I get that the younger generation does mess up a lot and make bad choices, but there's nobody teaching us, no business savvy. It's not a lot of us, not a lot of us teaching us how we should pick our partners when it comes to dating. It's not a lot of us. Only thing I've been taught, really, honestly, in the black community, is to go to college, work for somebody, and or get a job and work for somebody. It's no business savvy or nothing about business, nothing about coming together, having unity. It's just always this individualistic, worry about yourself attitude and leave your brother hanging. But I really do feel that way. I'm not trying to criticize the black community, and I criticize the black community as much as I criticize the European white community in America. But the verbal abuse, the disrespectful truth needs to be stopped. We need to build our young people up. And this is not just on black young males, but black young females. We need to build them up. We need to teach them. But as a black young male, I just feel like, dang, like I hadn't had like a lot of father figures. I was always an outcast. I was a person who had a learning disorder and mental problems. And I tried the best that I could. I went to college. I went into the military. But, I fell into the wrong path, the wrong way. And as well, a lot of young black males have mental issues like myself. And no one is teaching us, guiding us the right way at all. And just want to scrutinize us and tell us the truth, but don't even try to build us up. And just want to point the obvious and nitpick us apart and don't even try to guide us the right way. And I want to say, like, and I said this on one of my last tapes, of dealing with heartbreak, of how I got into it with my father, and he was telling me stuff about myself and the reason why my life is the way it is. And I acknowledged what he said was the truth, but I just felt like the man was being very judgmental, talking to me really reckless. My father is 50-something years old. I'm in my 30s. So even though I know that's my father, at the same time, I'm a grown-ass man that take care of myself. I might not take care of myself the best way, or I might not be, quote unquote, or a standard of what society thinks I should be at my age, but I take care of myself and barely ask anybody for nothing. So I just was asking my father, like, hey, I accept you for what you're saying to me, but watch how the way you talking to me. I had to tell my mother the same thing too as well. Because, like, my father is somebody who's never, like 98% of my life, he hasn't been there with me. For him to judge my life and talk to me like he's been there all the time. Or maybe like how my mother is. It's like how she just doesn't understand the mental issues that I have, and doesn't or never understand how it feels to be a man. But all my life, man, not to give myself a pity party or feel sorry for myself, which I don't. All my life is, I rarely, in my community that I've been in, I never had anybody to say, barely someone ever says something good about me or building me up, or at least say, hey, Marcus, this is what you're doing right and this is what you're doing wrong. It was just always this, you're this, you're that, you need to do this, stating the obvious, and talking to me very foul and disrespectful. Got it from my peers. When I look back, and if I ever have kids, I don't even want them to. I would want to put them in public school because I'll say I went to a decent high school, but like my middle school was terrible, man. How we joke and clown on each other as black people, how we always try to talk to each other down. I didn't see the white people doing this to each other, but I know like white people have a kind of elitist type of class type of mentality. But regardless if a white person is trailer trash or rich, they stick together. But black people is just like, you're not in a certain type of group, or if you're not this and you're not that, if you're not wearing this, or if you're not fucking this amount of bitches, we treat you like the scum dirt on the earth. And it's like, when I was going through school, I was fighting, I was talking shit because I had to. I wasn't like a tough guy, or I wasn't like a person who liked to pick on people, but I had to. Just the environment that I was in public school, man. So much violent altercations and, but I just feel like, man, we need to stop disrespecting each other and bringing each other down and talking down on each other, man. There's so much of y'all black older parents, y'all treat y'all kids and adult kids like shit. Talk to them like shit. Talk to them like there's nothing. And it's just like the black male experience in a nutshell to me is just like you're 70% of us are being raised in single mother households. We're learning how to be a man from a woman. We get out in the world, we fuck up and mess up off trial and error due to not having male role models. The world demonizes us. And then once we get things right, that's when everybody want to love us. That's when the women want to come. That's when that's what the Game said in one of his songs. One of my favorite rap artists says, first they hate you, then when you come up they love you, and then they hate you again. And it's just like, man, y'all, the black community, I feel like they bring protection when it comes to black young women and guidance when it comes to black young women, but it's just like y'all raise a black man, either y'all treat the abandon or treat the black young male like shit, and then y'all just throw the black male, you know, to the wolves, throw the young black male in the wilderness to just survive and fend for himself. Some of y'all, like single black mothers, y'all just like, dang, y'all expect y'all like children to just like throw them out. Like when you 18, you out of here. And all that verbal abuse, it just comes to me. It comes from the black single mother feeling abandoned and betrayed, and it comes as well just what Dr. Umar said, PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder, where this society just taught us to hate ourselves. And that self-hate trickles down onto each other. And then the society, even white people are having a hard time, but it trickles even worse on us. And this society, and the money is so tight, and there's so much opportunities, because it's like this world paints America like it's like the land of opportunity, and it's opportunity if you're exceptional, if you have knowledge, if you have guidance and mentorship. You know, it's a certain level of opportunity that's not, available to the majority average person. So I just want to say that, man, like, us as the people, we need to respect ourselves more. We need to talk to each other, get constructive criticism. We need to build up our young black males and females, because when I go on the YouTube algorithm and people talk about the black community, it's always negative. It's always just for once. I just wish I could find a black content creator that can say something positive, something good about the black community. Which I know I'm criticizing the black community right now, but I want to say some good things before I sign off. But as black people, we're resilient. We're survivors. We're hardworking. We're spiritual. We're God lovers. You know, we're one of the most envied people on the planet. We have style. We have charisma. You know. But the most important good trait we have as black people, we're resilient. It will take 2 or 10 atomic bombs to wipe us off the face of the world. So it's a lot I could say on this, man. But it's something I had to talk about, something that's been weighing on my heart for the past 2 days, and have a whole other lot of topics I can talk about and am going to talk about. But I felt like I had to tackle this topic on first. But I'm signing off. I want to say peace to all my gods and goddesses and all righteous families of the earth. Y'all stay tuned. I want to say as well before I go to, I know I'm on YouTube and Rumble, but I do want y'all to check out my second YouTube, which is called MD Kane, the Second Chamber. That, this, my main channel, and the Rumble is mainly my lectures and and important topics that I speak on, but I do want to create exclusive content on the MD Kane second chamber channel. That's what I want to say in my last video, but I didn't get to. But that is, I want to make that channel more into a self-help motivation channel. I know I'm not the most successful person in the world, but I feel like I can help a lot of people through what I've learned in life. Because from now on, I have a more of a relentless spirit. I am fighting a case right now, and I hate to say, like what a lot of people say, I got haters. And I don't got haters, man. I got enemies. Went to jail over a crime I didn't commit last week, and I'm going through stuff, but I want to stay relentless. I want to stay positive, and I hope I get that as well. It's support, compassion, empathy from all righteous fans in the earth and the black community as well. I'm not out here. I'm not one of these quote unquote conscious creators or red pill people who telling you every second to hit my Cash App up. Just want y'all to listen, like, subscribe, if you can, share. But I'm out, and peace to the gods and the goddesses. Peace.